Hey, welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the grab your paintbrush and hold on to your canvas edition. Today is episode 184. This cave art may have been used to pass down knowledge, and the oldest reptile fossil from the Alps is a partial forgery. My friends, today is going to blow your mind for so many reasons. The discoveries we're covering in this episode will not only span thousands to millions of years, but they'll also reveal the incredible ingenuity of us human beings, from the brilliant to the sketchy. In the first half of the show, we're heading to South America, where in one cave system, a museum's worth of cave art has shocked anthropologists worldwide. Once believed to be only a few thousand years old, a brand new second look has shown that estimate was way, way off. Thanks to the latest technology in radiocarbon dating, we now know not only is it actually the oldest pigment-based rock art in the continent found so far, the hundreds, and I mean hundreds of designs, patterns, and drawings were applied, maintained, and expanded over thousands of years, suggesting that the people who lived here used this cave as a way to conserve and carry on knowledge. Yeah, think of it like an early Wikipedia, like the first Wikipedia, and it's made of pictures and designs. Now, you may be asking how in the holy hell researchers were able to come up with this theory, and who were the people who lived here anyway, and why? Why do they feel the need to do something like this for generations? Great questions. We will get to it. Then after the break, we have been up to our eye sockets in fossils lately. In episode 180, we talked about the oldest piece of skin found so far, found in another cave system in southwestern Oklahoma and belonging to an amniote 289 fucking million years ago. And just last week, in episode 183, we took a gander at a 14,000-year-old woolly mammoth tusk, and it revealed the entire life, death, and migration of a female nicknamed Elma. And today? Oh yeah, we have a reptile fossil on our hands, but not everything is as it seems. Plucked from the Alps in the early 20th century, this specimen was heralded as a miracle, as its soft tissue had been somehow preserved over time. Well, by golly, wouldn't you know it, no one ever really looked into what that air quotes soft tissue was. They didn't look into it until 5 minutes ago. Paleobiologists over at University College Cork took one look at this thing, and their Scooby-Doo senses were tingling. My friends, we will cover the bombardment of microscopes and spectroscopes used to determine if it was for real. And as you can tell by the title of the show, some of it is totally not. And I can't wait to tell you what part of it actually is. In the meantime, I'm Jill Chacha, and if this is your first time listening, welcome to the flock, my authentic business goose. To begin, we're going to need to go on a little adventure. Okay. It's not a little adventure. I lied. It's a big adventure. It's going to take a long minute to get where we need to go. First, you're going to have to fly into JFK Airport from wherever you are in the world. For me, it's only about a 30-minute Uber ride, so when we meet up at the gate for a connection to Patagonia, feel free to tell me all about how your back hurts. You earned it. But I warn you, it's not going to get any easier. For you see, my long-haul business goose, we are headed to Cueva Hunel 1, a cave in the middle of nowhere, sitting about 1,000 meters or 3,300 feet above sea level in a desert of northwestern Patagonia. And wait, before you throw your scaldingly hot airport coffee in my face, I'd like to tell you exactly where this all is for context and assure you that this is going to be worth it. My friends, please imagine South America. Thank you. Now point to the very southern tip. Okay, fabulous. Now move your finger all the fucking way up until you nearly hit the middle of the continent. This is the length-ish of Argentina. And if you cut that in half, the southern half of this country encompasses the breathtaking region known as Patagonia. Now, fun fact, Chile, the thin nation that runs down the west coast of South America, also shares a sliver of Patagonia down the left-hand side. The Andes Mountains are the dividing line, and boy howdy, this is the land formation that makes the Chilean side and the Argentinian side oh so different. According to our travel bestie, Wikipedia, the Argentine side features arid steppes, grasslands, and deserts, while the Chilean side has glacial fjords and temperate rainforests. End quote. My friends, we are going to the vast, arid side, located well over 15 hours away in the northwest corner of Argentina's Patagonia. When we get there, your back pain will still be raging, but your breath will be taken away, literally and figuratively. We are now 3,000 feet up, but it is gorgeous. Please, head on over to our social media stuffs and take a peek at today's post. The first image you're going to see is a combo of 3 photos provided by the study we're about to dive into. I'm actually going to bring it up here myself. Okay. I can I can hear you hyperventilating. Just focus on your breath. And I'm going to describe to the good business geese out there who have their hands full and can't take a look at these 3 photos about where we are. Well, in the first 2 photos, in the far, far, far distance is a snow-capped mountain belonging to the Andes, and it just towers over everything else, which just happens to be brown grasslands as far as the eye can see. It's just forever. Well, in the middle of all of this beautiful barrenness is a yellow arrow, and that is provided by the researchers. My friends, it's pointing to a cave, and I swear to God, you'd never know it, because if it wasn't for the third image, which zooms all the fucking way in, revealing the mouth of this cave, you'd never know it was there, like I said. It's just dug into a small cliff. This is Cueva Hunel 1, or CH1, and for those who still have our socials up, swipe through, and you shall be transported to just inside the mouth of the cave, looking out onto the true fucking purple majesty of Patagonia. It is just unreal. This is the outside, but we're here for the inside, where we are met by the study's lead author, Guadalupe Romero Villanueva, an archaeologist with the Argentine National Research Council and the National Institute of Anthropology and Latin American Thought, and her team is here as well. Now, CH1 is a known archaeological spot. It was believed the art within these caves is a few thousand years old and overall not terribly remarkable. However, Guadalupe and the gang felt, quote, the cave's internal wall and part of the ceiling covered with 895 discrete painting events, operatively grouped into 446 motifs distributed across the site, deserved another look, end quote. Yes, you heard me. There are 895 images here, which can be categorized into 446 distinct types of motifs. And if you think that's a lot, and the patterns just may actually mean something, you're certainly fucking right. That quote, by the way, was from the study entitled Earliest Directly Dated Rock Art from Patagonia Reveals Socio-Ecological Resilience to Mid-Holocene Climate. That was a lot. We will get into what they found and what in the holy hell all of that means. To start, you really need to drop whatever it is in your hands. Just drop it, ignore the screams, and pick up your phone. You need to see 2 examples of the art in CH1. This is, of course, over at our social media stuff. So, my friends, these series of vertical lines, geometric shapes, and figures of humans and llama relatives, known as guanacos, were thought to be drawn onto the walls with charred wood. probably made by burning the surrounding, seemingly endless shrubs and cacti. Dr. Guadalupe and the gang chipped away several small pieces of that black pigment from multiple drawings. And lo and behold, plant material was found. Thanks to this organic material, the age of this art could be analyzed using radiocarbon dating. So, what did they find? Drumroll, please. Thank you in the back. Quote, "We got the results and we were very surprised." Dr. Guadalupe told the New York Times, "It was a shock and we had to rethink some things." End quote. My friends, hold onto your artistic cheeks. Samples revealed this cave was used as far back as 8,200 years ago and continued to be used up until 5,100 years ago. 8,200 years ago. This means, one, not only is this art the oldest radiocarbon-dated pigment-based rock in South America so far, but two, this means for about 3,000 years, the peoples of this area returned to CH1 again and again to create these writings over and over, expanding the motifs for 3,000 goddamn years. And if that sounds like a really long time to you, you are right once more. That's about 130 generations. With that type of commitment, you have to ask, why? I'm tired. Why go back to this place for 3,000 years? Why keep up a tradition for over 130 generations? Well, the main theory these researchers are going with is for survival. Get this, my creative business goose, Patagonia was not reached by humans until about 12,000 years ago. The earliest inhabitants thrived at CH1 for a good 2,000 years, leaving evidence of habitation, like tools and other signs of daily life. But around 10,000 years ago, the area became vastly more arid and pretty fucking hostile thanks to climate shifts, i.e. ye olde last ice age. The archaeological record in CH1 also dried up for the next couple thousand years, only to resurface 8,200 years ago, suggesting that the area was abandoned because of those environmental pressures, but they came back to a new world and the drawings began. So why? Quote, "Probably to preserve cultural knowledge shared by regional hunter-gatherer groups," Dr. Guadalupe and the colleagues told ScienceNews.org. Prior studies suggest that extremely dry conditions kept South America sparsely populated during this period. Small, dispersed groups would have needed a central spot to visually preserve their ecological and ritual know-how. End quote. Oh. Yeah. Study co-author Ramiro Barberina elaborated, telling LiveScience.com, quote, "There were large parts of the landscape without water. But in order to survive as hunter-gatherers, they would have needed to stay connected. It would have been hard to make it on your own. So an exchanging of information was important." End quote. Fucking wild. Yes, my friends, what we are looking at is a motif to us, but was perhaps 3,000 years of knowledge created and transmitted across multiple generations by and for the folks who took the necessary risk of inhabiting this region. Is your fucking mind blown? I knew it would be. It was totally worth the 15 plus hours to get here. There is nothing like it anywhere else, as far as we know. But I know what you may be thinking, other than, okay, yeah, all right, my mind is blown, but who were they? Who lived here for so long, and who could be so damn organized? Great questions. Drumroll, please. Thank you again in the back. We are not sure what they call themselves, what language they spoke, and what exactly the motifs mean have been lost to time. But thanks to these markings, this graffiti, this art, this early Wikipedia, whatever you'd like to call it, we know someone was here, and they survived. And they survived a time period as long as the Egyptian Empire for 3,000 years. That's not bad. After the break, I'm going to need you to charge up the old time machine, grab a winter coat, an ice pick, and some mountaineering boots with those really intense, blade thingies attached. Thanks to my pioneering girlfriend, I just learned they're called crampons. And I'm overwhelmed. Crampons. I went down a rabbit hole as to why, in God's name, these detachable spikes aren't called something more direct like detachable spikes and rather crampons instead. I don't have an answer. If you know why I can't even talk without laughing. If you know why they're called crampons, please tell the flock down below in the comments section over at our social media stuffs. I did, however, find out why tampons are called tampons, because I had to. And guess what? I'm even more overwhelmed. It turns out the word tampon originates from the medieval French word tampion, which translates to cloth stopper. Literally a piece of cloth to stop up a hole. The earliest cloth stoppers were made from a ball of cotton with a string attached, and they appeared in Europe in the 18th and 19th centuries. It's 2024, and this is still what they are. Anyway, we're talking about lizards next. Lizard fossils. So please, stay tuned.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And we're back. We are so back. And I hope you strapped on your finest crampons because we just so happen to be fossil hunting in the Italian Alps, and it's 1931. We have no GPS, just maps and the instincts of a team of people born in the 1800s. I hope your crampons are sharp. Well, thankfully, we're alive, and we made it to our destination, the Stramiolo locality in the Pine Valley. Now, where in the world might this be? I'm so glad you asked. Please, everyone, imagine Italy. Grazie. Point to the very top of this thigh-high boot. Okay, great. Now move your finger a bit to the right. Okay, here we are in the picture-perfect town of Stramiolo, deep within the Alps, and the mountains here are alive with the sound of several meter thick, fine-grained pyroclastic deposits, aka fragments of rock erupted by a volcano. Somehow, in all of this overwhelming landscape, an 11-inch long, 4-inch wide fossil of a lizard was discovered. And holy shit, did this little fella make waves. Being 1931, an estimate of its age could only go so far, but thanks to the fossil's characteristics, size, and location, researchers knew that this creature existed before the dinosaurs, making it the oldest lizard fossil ever found in the area. So, hey, you know what? Round of applause. Fuck yeah. But wait. It gets better. It was given the name Tridentinosaurus antiquus, and its thick black outline against the beigey brown sediment it became embedded in was thought to be preserved soft tissue. Yeah, now, if you're a longtime business goose, you know how difficult it is to find the soft tissue of a deceased creature. especially one potentially hundreds of millions of years old. This stuff is the first to be scavenged and to decay. You need an extremely unique environment to preserve something so delicate, like the Siberian permafrost or the insane caves of Richard Spur in the southwest of Oklahoma. Have a listen to the first half of episode 180, the oldest piece of skin found so far, to see what I mean, if you haven't checked it out already. Needless to say, this tiny lizard was something of a miracle. Nothing like it had been found in this location before, and nothing like it has been found since, to this day. No researcher could explain why or how exactly the soft tissue of Tridentinosaurus antiquus had been preserved, while every other fossil from this region just wasted away to bone. You'd think all this shrugging was done after lots of pokes and prodding of the fossil itself. But, yeah, you guessed it, no tissue analysis, I'll say that again, no tissue analysis had ever been performed since 1931. Tridentinosaurus antiquus was just accepted and even heralded as a fine example of preservation. Like, hey everyone, take a look, this is what soft tissue preservation looks like. Yeah, take notes, go ahead. Like, that kind of thing. Well, finally, it's 2024, and my modern business goose, what do you say we take a look at this fossil? And you tell me if it looks like the prime example of soft tissue preservation. Okay, yeah. Head on over to our social media stuffs and swipe past the amazing cave art of CH1. There you will land on a photo of the incredible Tridentinosaurus antiquus. I'll give you a sec. Okay. I say incredible because, y'all, it's kind of hard to believe, okay? I think I could hear you laughing. I could hear you. And that gigantic plane. Can you hear that? I hope the mics picked it up. There's a very close plane. Okay, I'm not going to panic. To me, this fossil... Back to the fossil. Concentrate, Jill. Okay, to me, it looks like Wile E. Coyote hit a fucking wall going 90. There's just something off about it. And if you feel this way too, we are not alone. Quote, "At first glance, I must say I thought the fossil was a bit peculiar," said paleobiologist Valentina Rossi of Ireland's University College Cork to ScienceAlert.com. "Other colleagues of mine told me that they had the same reaction, but fossils are always a bit weird, so I carried on my research." End quote. My friends, please swipe past the two fossil photos provided, and boy howdy, you're going to land on a fantastic image. It's of Valentina just beaming, and she's holding up a MacBook, and on the screen is Tridentinosaurus antiquus. But honestly, it's not a MacBook, it's more like an award. For you see, Dr. Val and her team went to fucking town on this fossil, and what they found rewrote and corrected history. Quote, "An initial UV scan revealed a coating over the entire fossil. Now, this has been standard in the past to preserve delicate structures and is still sometimes done for particularly fragile specimens. However, what was under the coating required more detailed analysis. The team used a combination of scanning electron microscopy, coupled with energy dispersive spectroscopy, micro X-ray diffraction, and Raman and attenuated total reflectance Fourier transformed infrared spectroscopies, you know what I mean, that thing, to analyze the black material thought to be carbonized skin." End quote. Wow. My friends, long story short, a probing was done unlike any other probing before. Each of those machines produced results, and those results were compared against a number of materials. So, what did they find? Why does this fossil look the way it does? Drumroll, please. Thank you. Quote, "The peculiar preservation of Tridentinosaurus had puzzled experts for decades. Now it all makes sense. What was described as carbonized skin is just paint. End quote. Said co-author Professor Evelyn Custacher. Those machines really fucked me up, man. Professor Evelyn to eurekaalert.org. So, my creative business goose, yes, it is paint. Someone painted over this fossil. And you may be asking, why? Good question. No one knows. And no one knows who did it. No one is pointing fingers and throwing shade. I'm sorry, I know you are here for the paleontology drama. Dr. Val and the gang believe this scant fossil was painted over, perhaps as a way to enhance the appearance. If you take a gander at the photo before the one of the beaming Dr. Val, you could see how difficult it is to identify the lizard, without the paint. They, digitally removed it. Although Tridentinosaurus had been kicked... Delete. Let's start again. Although Tridentinosaurus has been kicked off its throne as the soft tissue king, it is still a fossil. Okay, it is one of the oldest of its kind still, clocking in at 280 million years old. So a part of it is totally authentic. Its femurs are genuine, and the new analysis also showed the presence of tiny bony scales on its back. These are called osteoderms, which are similar to the scales of crocodiles. And yes, I'm still laughing about being kicked off the throne as the soft tissue king. I'm still laughing. We'll continue to laugh. Anyway, case fucking closed. So thank you for listening, rating, subscribing, telling your friends about the incredible cave art in South America. The 3,000 years of just note-taking, that's just, wow, it's very impressive. And this bullshit fossil. And a very real thank you to the folks over at Airwave Media, the podcast network, to which WTI belongs. If you love this show, and you do, you will love the other podcasts in this family. And please, stay interesting.